Welcome aboard.
Always give the ball to the big full forward because he can't move.
I'm glued to the floor.
How are you getting on?
I drive you up here today, I swear to God, lads, first ever time in my life, I got a bit of, excuse me, cold feet because I'm not so sure is this a good move or not.
Coming in here.
I think this is not a good move. I think my career, whatever bit of career is left, is gone after tonight, lads.
Pat, they absolutely love you. It's fair to say you're a legend of the game. You're a player, broadcaster, pundit, journalist. Like, you retired from the Sunday game. How have you been finding life since then?
I've had a ball. I do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk us through your day now that you're a man of leisure, Pat. So you get up in the morning and what happens?
Well, the only work I do, I write for the Sunday World every Sunday, and I've been writing every Sunday since October 1991. Never missed a Sunday.
Wow.
That's not bad.
That's where we're going now, Pat. Go on.
Anyway,
So, up in the morning.
outside of that, my day is, I swear to God, lads, I mean, I have the perfect day. I do nothing, and I do nothing very well, and I do it all day long. And I'm spoiled. The breakfast is on the table, the lunch is on the table, the dinner is on the table.
Who's putting the food on the table?
My good wife, the long-suffering Rosario. And she's my saint. And outside of that, I watch Monday to Thursday, I watch 5 hours of sport on television, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I watch 10 to 12 hours of sport on television. Yeah.
10 or 12 hours a day?
Yeah, and I tell my wife it's all for the purposes of research.
For the column.
For the column. And it's everything from racing to cricket to basketball, anything. I watch it all. I love it. And I'd be stretched out in my couch at home. I have a unique couch. It's the only V-shaped couch in the world because after 30 years, my arse has made the V-shape. And Rosario says, I'm ashamed to bring people into this sitting room with that couch there. We have to get rid of the couch. And I says, if the couch goes, darling, I go. Anyway.
What if you're at, like, say, a wedding or a funeral? How would you
I
get your...
swear to God, it's awful, I know. I go to weddings and funerals and my phone and I'm watching a game, unbelievable.
Have you been caught?
No. Research.
I'd say that, have you ever had a funeral and it's like, and God rest Jimmy, and you're like, yes!
Goal!
Jimmy's after waking up, lads.
Speaking of All Irelands and all, we couldn't have you on and not ask you about the new rule changes.
I was in Croke Park last week. Great, absolutely
what
great.
do you reckon?
There's more scores, more kicking, less hand passing, less defensive. It has to be embraced. It has to be welcomed. It's brilliant because the game has been... Do you know, I spent 30 years in television. I would always give you out about and you start to say, fucking maybe it's only me. I feel wrong. But eventually everyone agreed that the game was shite.
Right.
And you can quote me. That's a capital S as well, by the way. It's a good news story because Gaelic football, like I said, has been poor.
Yeah.
It needs to be two things to be a greater game to play and a greater game to watch, and I think they will.
Yeah.
Pat, when you were giving your controversial opinions on Gaelic
Honest
football,
is
and
the word.
honest,
Honest is the word.
that has to be said as well. Like, people used to be getting in touch with you via letter.
Look,
They weren't always
I
good,
know.
Pat.
You see, in the early days, for the first 10 or 15 years, like now social media, so it's very easy to... But in the first 10 or 15 years where I worked in the Sunday game, like people had to go to a bit of an effort to abuse me. So they had to write to me. And you know when you write, like the thing about when you hate somebody and you want to write, like how would you spend an hour writing a letter of abuse? You've just wasted an hour abusing me, and I said that's a waste of it. Anyway, and you know when you hate a guy and you hate everything about him, you can write Mr. Pat Blowhole Spillane. Mr. Pat who thinks he knows it all. Mr. Pat so-called expert. And I know, and I've said this so many times, but amazing. Pat the Bollocks, County Kerry, a letter addressed to Pat the Bollocks, County Kerry, posted in Armagh, arrived in my door.
You want to have a chat with the postman?
And it just goes to show how good the postal service is now.
Okay, well, we're going to play a quick game with you. It's because there's so many stories going around about you. This is called Pat or Chat. Are these things real or are they just pub chat? Okay. Oh. So the first one we heard is that when you used to be a PE teacher, and that one day you turned up for class and you were, I don't know what to say what, but you made the class run around town while you drove after them in the car beeping the horn. Is that true, or is that just pub
Well,
chat?
if you know your sport, the Tour de France has a broom
That's
wagon.
how they won it.
And the broom wagon is the last wagon and it collects the stragglers.
Yeah. Right.
And that was my car. It was a broom wagon. But it's true. Yeah.
Okay, I heard that in a pub in Cork. So.
Pat,
Good lads.
We also heard you were offered a trial in the NFL with the San Diego Chargers.
I did, yeah.
Is that true?
1979, I was offered I competed in the Superstars, and very easy. I did a kicking competition for NBC with a guy called Rafael Septian. He was a Mexican guy. But anyway, afterwards, I did a punting, kicking it up in the air. And sure, I could kick it to heaven, do you know? And there was a crowd from San Diego Chargers, and they wanted to sign me up, see would I be prepared to go to America to do...
And did you go for the trial?
I didn't bother going to San Diego. Because, do you know
Why
what?
not?
If I did now, should I be going through my 5th divorce and trying to kick my cocaine habits?
Okay.
Right.
Okay, one more. We heard... Is this true or is it just chat? Do you Google stories and jokes about yourself so that and insults so that you can tell them at after dinner speeches?
Oh, fuck it, yeah. I swear to God, lads. Like when I'd be doing after dinner speeches, I just Google Pat Spillane and I get all all the abuse. So I know them all. If brains were a virus, Pat Spillane would be the healthiest man in the world. If brains were chocolate, Spillane's brains wouldn't fill a Smartie. And I remember the other one, the longer one, Quasimodo, Hunchback in Notre Dame, and Esmeralda. Quasimodo said to Esmeralda, Esmeralda, am I really the ugliest man in the world? And Esmeralda said, look, Quasimodo, go upstairs, ask the magic mirror, and you'll not know. And Quasimodo went upstairs, saw the magic mirror, came down, and Esmeralda says, well... And Quasi said, who's Pat Spillane?